Hello everyone, welcome once again to another data science and data analysis related tutorial by Slideshow. In this part, you can see we have a very simple Power BI dashboard, but in this Power BI dashboard, you can see this Python visual also. Okay, this is a Python visual that we have created, and the script that we have used for this Python visual is a multiple linear regression script using sklearn.linear model. So you will learn how to apply multiple linear regression on a data set where all the variables are numerical variables like store area in square feet, items available, daily customer count, store sales, and this is a calculated column. So what is the effect of different variable on our target variable? We will see using scatter plots. We will also learn how to create a distribution plot in Power BI by creating bins of a continuous variable, and we will see how to create a plot uh, of linear regression where we will predict actual value versus predicted value of sales using the linear regression model. So all of this we will learn in this chapter. So to begin the analysis, here we have a very simple dashboard that is called Supermarket Stores CSV file. You can find this file from kaggle.com, and from kaggle.com we can see there is a store ID which is index ID of the particular store area, the physical area of a store in yard square, number of different items available in the corresponding store, number of customers who visited the store on an average over month, and store sales in US dollars. Okay, so in such kind of databases we can see sales. Sales we can consider as our output value, and these are our input values. Obviously store ID will not be considered here for analysis, just for counting purpose we can consider. So this is like a multiple linear regression analysis kind of dashboard. So we will see if store area, total number of items available, daily customer count uh, have some effect on store sales. So in this part we are just using Power BI to visualize this data. So in our Power BI, what we will do, we will first of all uh, create a simple text box with the heading that is supermarket store branches sales analysis, and I will use a text box, align it to center, make it bold, choose a size around 28, and use a light color for my text. Then I will go to effects and choose a dark color background. So here I'm going to choose this dark color background, or we will choose a different style like this, and just increase its height so that the scroll bar is gone. Obviously this is going to be a simple analysis because here we don't have any categorical value, uh, but we will see if we want to see the distribution of data, then obviously we can create some. So this is one thing, and here in effects we are just going to enable the visual border. So this is our dashboard. Now let's connect the data. So write data, connect CSV file. Wherever you have stored your CSV file, and connect that. And now we have this file. Make sure all the columns are uploaded properly, and let's analyze this. Now we have the data. Here our output is store sales, and we have inputs like store area, items available, and daily customer count. So for seeing relationship between various numerical variables, the best type of chart that we can use is scatter plot. Okay, so we will create a scatter plot here first. In this scatter plot, in x-axis we are going to bring the independent variable like number of customers walking into the store. Okay, so this is daily customer. So sum of daily customer is obviously daily one customer, or 530 customers, 200 customers are visiting. So this is sum of daily customers, and on y-axis we will bring store sales. In such cases, you will always receive one dot here representing sum of total sales versus sum of daily customer. So you just have to click don't summarize. So when you will don't summarize, you will see all scatter points here, and here also we will use don't summarize. So here you can see on the basis of daily customer count, you can see obviously when number of daily customers are increasing, there are very different type of sales values available. So we cannot tell something directly from here. For further trend analysis, we can also go to the further analysis start and create a trend line. So you can see the trend line is also pretty flat. So this simply tells us that obviously sales depends upon daily customers visiting, but it is not increasing when number of customers are increasing. So we have different type of values here. Okay. Here we will simply go to general tab, title, and here first of all we will change like daily customer count and store sales, right? So we will simply call it daily customer count versus store sales. We vs store sales. I will just make my heading bold, align to center, and we can use any different type of color for our markers and different type of shape also. So first we will use a color, and here the color that we are going to choose is this color. Okay, and color by category also we can do. Now what do you mean by category here? That different sales values are on the basis of their ID we can see, but this is not something we want here, and this is our daily customer count versus sales. Here we can also go and enable effect here shadow. Okay, this is daily customer count versus sales. Now we have our data, we can simply copy it. We can see we don't see any drop or increase in total sales when the value is increasing or decreasing. Before copying, one more thing I want to do here and teach you that in your format visual, when you have x-axis, so in your x-axis you have values and titles. Okay, so you can increase or decrease size of your titles and make them bold like this. Okay, so we will simply increase here and choose a color that represents your theme. So we will choose this color. Similarly, in your y-axis also you can do the same thing. So we will enable a title 11 bold and select some theme. Okay, this way we have the daily customer count and sales here. These are your axis values, so you can make your axis values also. So for example, value, let's increase and make them bold. Okay, so those values will also be visible properly. You select a lighter color here, and similarly for x-axis also we have values 11 bold, select some colors. At least everything is now visible properly. So this is one important thing here. Now we will simply copy it. If you want to change title color, you can change it. So title color we can choose it something like this. Here also, or let me simply copy. Okay. Next variable that we want to see is items available. Like if more items are available, will that affect sales? Okay. So this is daily customer count. We will simply remove it and we will see items available in x-axis. Here you can see we have interesting analysis. So let's visualize it. So when the items available are between 1000 to 2000 or 2200, we can say, then sales value is you know from 20k to 100k approximately. There are some outliers, but here we do see a positive trend. okay, which kind of tells us that people when they buy or when there are some of items available are very high, right? In those cases, sales value is also higher. A little bit we can say that this is showing a upward trend. Okay. Here the only thing that we are going to do is select marker color as a slightly different color so that we have the visualization. So this has a positive trend which will give us some kind of conclusion about that this is an important variable for us. Now we can again copy this and we will just create some more gap here. And now the third variable that we are going to analyze is store area, like if store area has any effect on store sales. Okay, so we'll just add store area to the x-axis here, and the sum of store area and this looks very much similar. So now it will be an interesting thing to analyze, you know, store says an area it is. So we will simply go and store area versus store sales, and here we can use a slightly different marker or color. So type of marker that we can use here is a square marker, and the color that we are going to use here will be slightly different than this. We'll use this color. Okay, obviously it is looking almost similar, so we will also analyze what is the relationship between store area and daily customer count. So here on x-axis we have a store area, like if the store area is more, will more daily customers walk in. So here we have sum of store area, we will use don't summarize. Here also we will use don't summarize. So this is showing some information like this, right? So if a store area versus store customer kind of has a downward slope. So as per the data, it doesn't necessarily mean that when a store area will increase, number of customers will also increase. And we can choose a different style for this as well. Now, obviously, we can see which variable has positive effect on which variables have positive effect on total sales, which variable have slightly less or no effect on total sales. So when you are doing multiple linear analysis or multiple linear regression, when you are creating that model, so you can you can not ignore this value like daily customer because it has a flat line here. Next is if you want to see distribution of any numerical value. So for distribution of value, obviously we create a histogram chart, but histogram chart is not readily available here. Okay, let's say we select a stack column chart. So on x-axis, if we bring total sales, and on y-axis we bring total ID, so obviously it will be like a histogram value. But here the range is, a high range. But in this range also we can see that most of the store sales are between range of, we can say, 50,000 to 65,000. But to visualize this in a better way, what we can do, we can create a smaller bins. Okay, by smaller bin I mean here we will click on a store, the three dots there, and create a new group. In group you can decide a bin size. Okay, so now every sale is a currently every sale value is a unique value, right? in itself it's a distinct value, but we are saying that we want to create bin size of 5,000, like every cell bin will be of 5,000. So now it will group the data in a smaller bins, and that we can bring on x-axis, and on y-axis we can bring the store ID. Now it will be like a histogram chart, which will simply tell us distribution of sales in the data set. So we will simply write distribution of sales, and here you can see, like in the range of 50,000 we have most number of sales, like sales in the range of 50,000 are 4600 558. But we have to correct one more thing. Here on y-axis also we have sum of store ID. What we want is count of store ID. Now it is okay. Now it will show you how many count of sales is there. You know, what is the count of sales there in terms of uh, this sales value. So for example, between the range of 40,000 and 50,000, here we can see the values are 95, 94 and 94. Okay, most values are in this range, so 40,000 to 60,000 for different stores, and number of stores which have this value is 94 to 95. Number of stores with 20,000 value, number of stores with 100,000 value, you can see the data. So this is how you can create simple histograms. Now since we are talking about multiple linear regression here, so first of all, this is our simple dashboard or EDA dashboard. If you want to do multiple linear regression, we can also apply Python visual here. Okay, in your Python visual, first you have to select your columns. So for example, here we are selecting daily customer, item available, store area and store sales. So we are selecting these four columns. Okay, and when you have selected these four columns, it will automatically create a data set for you, and using the pandas library. So let me show you on Colab first. So first your data set is like this, right? So in your data set you have store area, store sales, item available and daily customer count. Now, so just make sure all these columns are available. Store area, store sales and daily customer count. Then all the duplicates value will be removed. We will import pandas as PD. If, obviously it has pandas, so this is not necessary. And because we will split the training and testing data into train test split, for this part you must have some basic understanding of multiple linear regression. If you don't have, so we have a dedicated video for that. So just select search Cholestatic multiple linear. So this is machine learning multiple linear regression on health insurance cost prediction program, which you will learn easily. Okay, so I will provide a video to this. So in multiple linear regression we have inputs. Our inputs will be store area, items available and daily customer count. Okay, and we have our output is store sales. So we want to predict store sales. Okay, so for that we are seeing the effect of input variables on the output. We have done some EDA here. Okay, now on the basis of our EDA, we are trying to create the model, a linear regression model. So sklearn.linear model, linear regression. Now we train test split your data set of let's say it has 3,000 values. It will be broken into two parts: X train, X test, Y train, and Y test. Right? So all your inputs will be broken into uh, the training and testing part, and all your output will also be broken into same value of or same size of training and testing part. Okay, we will create a model. LR is equal to linear regression. In linear regression we will fit X train and Y train, and we will predict Y predict. So for all the test values that we have in the testing part, we will use a prediction. Okay, then we will simply plot two graphs. plt.scatter between the testing data store area and y test, between the testing data store area and y predicted. In one of them we are going to use color red, one of them we are going to use default color, that is blue. So when you will copy this entire thing, okay, so from this part we will copy, and when you will paste your script here, okay, you remember you have to write plt.show. So we also covered one chapter where we showed you how to create basic type of graphs using the Python script editor in Power BI. So here we have the simple chart like with Python matplotlib and with Power BI visual. So I will provide a link to this also so that you can learn the basics. When you will do this and just run the script, hopefully it will create a scatter plot. So here in the scatter plot you can see actual versus predicted store sales, okay, and the actual versus predicted store sales is on the basis of this title. We are getting this information from this title. So we will simply go back to visual, and we will simply copy this visual and go to our dashboard and paste it here, okay. So you can see when you will paste the visual, now you have option to adjust its height and width accordingly, okay. So this is with the help of Python, and here we will simply copy the style. So we will use format painter and copy the style, and this is daily customer count item. So this is simply actual versus predicted store sales. We have just used one variable to show you how it can be done. So this is done using linear regression model, okay. And here uh, the variable that we have used is store area. You can also see effect using item sublabel and daily customer count. So you can see, just create three graph. You can create multiple graphs here, okay. And here we are just showing effect of one variable on predicted sales. This is a very simple example of supermarket store branches sales analysis using, and we have used multiple linear regression. So similarly, in many other chapters, we will bring more advanced analysis. This was just a basic example where we tried multiple linear regression. We will bring more suited data sets for it so that you can learn easily. If you want to learn all of this, like integration of Power BI and the power of Python for machine learning, so please subscribe to our channel because we are going to bring more videos based on those particular topics. Thanks for watching this video. Have a very nice time.